Hello, my name is Brett, and today I'm back to talk about understanding by design. In the last video, I talked about the 3 stages of backward design that encourages curriculum planners to think like assessors when designing lessons and units, and we focused on Stage 1, Identify Desired Results. If you recall, Stage 1 is all about what students should be able to know, understand, and do. It asks what essential questions and understandings are desired. Stage 1 clarifies learning priorities in relation to long-term performance goals with a focus on transferring learning in a real-world application. Today, I'm going to talk about Stage 2, Determine Acceptable Evidence.
The first section of the Stage 2 template is the Performance Tasks section. Performance tasks are broken down into 3 sections. Desired results code align with Stage 1 transfer and meaning goals and are coded accordingly. The Performance Tasks section contains tasks that students will use to demonstrate their understanding of learned concepts. Evaluative criteria describes the qualities that are most important regarding the performance task. Performance tasks in Stage 2 employ 6 facets of understanding to measure assessment. When a student understands, they can 1. Explain principles, concepts, and processes in their own words, teach others, demonstrate reasoning, and justify their answers. 2. Interpret by making sense and add a personal dimension to text or data. Experience and personally relate to stories, images, analogies, and models. 3. Apply by adapting and using what they know in complex or new contexts beyond what was learned in school. 4. Demonstrate perspective. Step back and see the big picture. Examine other points of view, recognize biases, and take a disinterested or critical stance of all issues. 5. Display empathy. Know how it feels to walk in someone else's shoes, describe it, and find value in it. 6. Have self-knowledge. Demonstrate metacognitive awareness, reflect on learning experiences and their meaning, and use habits of mind. When assessing understanding through the 6 facets, remember the following. 1. All 6 facets do not need to be used in every assessment. They are designed to generate assessment ideas. Only 1 or 2 may be required, and some fit better when assessing certain subjects. The facets are also not hierarchical. 2. Performance tasks using the facets are not intended for daily lessons. Save using the facets for cumulative big performances. Daily lessons develop cumulative skills and knowledge needed to understand the performance, much like athletes practicing for a competitive sporting event. When creating assessments, a designer should strive to make the task authentic by attempting to make it as realistic as possible so learning is applied flexibly and realistically as possible, making the task meaningful and motivating to the student. To help designers create meaningful tasks, they are encouraged to frame the features of the task using GRASPs, which is an acronym for having a goal, facilitating a meaningful role for the student, provide an audience and situation involving real-world application, student-generated performance, and standards for measuring performance success. Performance task evaluative criteria helps the designer exercise judgment over goal performance. Well-defined criteria helps create a defendable and consistent judgment-based process for evaluation of student performance. Multiple criteria helps when evaluating performances of various dimensions and complexities. While degree of impact is the basis of performance tasks, content, quality, and processes are also considered. Impact refers to the overall success of student performance. Content involves appropriateness and sophistication of performance. Quality refers to the rigor and craftsmanship of the work, and processes describes methods, procedures, and approach used in the performance. When creating evaluative criteria, only use the most appropriate type that best aligns to a specific performance. Not all tasks need to be complex to support understanding. Other evidence on the template consists of less complex and familiar assessment methods such as tests, quizzes, observations, and assignments to help round out the assessment and provide evidence of desired results. Desired learning codes align with transfer, meaning-making, and knowledge and skill codes from Stage 1. Other evidence can overlap performance-based assessments to help increase validity and reliability of the overall assessment. Just as other evidence supports overall performance using less complex tasks, its evaluative criteria is also less complex. This criteria can be assessed with descriptors such as accurate, precise, appropriate, knowledgeable, skilled, and proficient, to name a few. Rubrics are criteria-based scoring guides used to evaluate a performance or product along a continuum. They consist of evaluative criteria, which are qualities that must be met for work to meet a standard, a fixed measurement scale of 4 to 5 levels, and indicators that are descriptive and differentiate among degrees of understanding, quality, or proficiency. Two commonly used type rubrics are holistic and analytic. Holistic rubrics provide an overall impression of the elements of quality and performance levels in a student's work. Analytic separates performance into 2 or more dimensions, judging each separately. The rubric used in our Stage 2 template is analytic. Effective rubrics discriminate among different degrees of proficiency or understanding, provides consistency in judgment of a student's work, and allows students to accurately self-assess when completing a task.
Welcome back. This concludes the overview and template completion of the UbD Stage 2 Determine Acceptable Evidence. You should now have a better idea of how Stage 2 helps designers assess student performance using a combination of unfamiliar or messy performance tasks that allow students to apply what they've learned in new and unfamiliar settings, and how the use of other evidence provides an expanded picture of overall understanding. Finally, you learned how the use of rubrics as a performance scoring tool facilitates consistent judgment of a student's work. I'll see you again in 2 weeks when I'll be talking about Stage 3 of the UbD template, Plan Learning Experiences. If you have questions or comments about the template, please leave your comments in the discussion section of Pilot under my name, or you can email me at the Raider mail address above. Thank you for watching.